Welcome back to our 5-year Tarqaron celebration. We're live in person.
Here we are,
celebrating our milestone year. And we're here with a historic season at the same time, fans versus favorites lined up, and we're trying to watch as much as we can in person. And it's been fun. It's some fun episodes.
It's definitely been fun so far. It's been argumentative. It's been kind of horny. It's been a
how
lot.
we like it.
It's just
Perfect combo.
argumentative and horny.
Yeah.
Well, if you're having a fight, maybe make up sex is that's one way to do it. I guess. But
Wow.
That's not really. It's not really what's been going on though. It's been very Jonathan Cerise spatting.
Yeah, there's not a lot of overlap.
There's not sexual tension there. Yeah.
Separate from
That's
the horniness.
That's some ego. That's more ego there than sexual tension. So.
But we did lose
Mikey B.
So we had 4 icons, all icons so far. Johnny Fairplay, Mary, Yowman, and Mikey B.
So with the
Mount Rushmore of Survivor.
Mount Rushmore of Survivor. Well, Mikey B and Mary, that gets rid of that sort of duo that we were sort of.
How dare
Mikey
they
B.
try to
How dare Mikey
flirtation.
B? How dare Mikey B and Mary flirt together? How dare they do that? And according to Joel, anyway, But it was a great move. Tracy really kind of took advantage of that, of how she just knows Joel. She knows that he's got an ego, and she just.
That's the angle she had to play. She needs to protect her little old cluster.
The old cluster, and it was great. I mean, it was a good move, and hopefully pays off. Meanwhile, over on the other tribe, Jonathan's pretty upset because Cerie's not going his way, but she's clearly trying to play an angle where she feels that she can maneuver through the game in a sort of protected state. She might I don't know, she might try to go into the fans after that point, because I think Jonathan has a point where his point is kind of moot, because I think it's almost the same thing where their group of 4 would have maybe tried to get rid of Cerie first too, but I think he does have a point where that foursome of the 2 couples would kind of shift her off. So 5th place at best in some degree. But so I think he has got a point there. But I think she has she's extremely likable, and she's also very, very good at playing the game. So she has
she's in 3 fields, bitch.
She's
where were you?
Yeah.
Where did you?
What place were you? Where did you get out? It's true. She definitely has a.
And that was already because they were being idiots voting out their own tribe members when they should have voted you out earlier?
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. So.
Alright.
Yeah.
We're going to check out episode 5.
That's right. There's going to be some shuffling going around here too in this episode. That was what they teased. Yeah. Like, drop your buffs.
Pick them back up. You're good.
You're good.
That's the twist.
That's the twist.
I didn't say anything about a swap. I just said drop your buffs.
Yeah, drop your buffs.
Up. Everybody's popping off, excited.
Yeah.
No, pick them back up.
What are you doing?
Throw them over here.
Oh, this is weird. You guys will do whatever I say. Okay. It's like him testing the limits of what he can do.
Yeah, if it's around merge time, you should do that.
Yeah.
Drop your buffs. Everybody's to say, yeah, merge.
All right, pick them back up again.
Didn't say anything about merge. Pick it up.
Yeah.
Pick up your buffs. Pass it to the left. Switch buffs. Now you have a different buff, but it's the same.
It's the same tribe. But you have the sweat of the person who you swapped sweat with the other person. It's weird. All right, well, we'll see you. We'll have a little reaction.
We will have a little reaction.
Have a little
reaction.
We'll have very little reaction to the episode. We'll just sit here calmly and quietly.
Just like in the Survivor video game where we'll sit there.
We'll just sit there quietly while everything's going on. Well, one of our tribe mates gets voted out.
Yeah, I really should have emphasized in that how it's literally like you're sitting there like lambs to the slaughter, waiting to be picked to be taken out of the game.
And they just could not be chuffed to lose a member at all.
Everybody tried to be look the most pathetic challenge.
Yeah.
You don't want to take me out.
Uh-huh.
Alright, click link in the description below to see the highlights of a reaction. Come back afterwards for the discussion. There it is. Joel was voted out. Survivor Micronesia.
All right. Well, hey, that's I think that's
It's funny, like why I can't fathom why someone would want to keep Chet over me when he previously just kept Chet over 2 other people.
right.
Like,
It's just like, what do you
wasn't
mean?
tribe strength then either.
But what do you mean?
But now suddenly he's like in the spot where he's
He's-
like all tribe strength because that'll help him, but it's not,
It's not how
not
it goes.
beneficial. Three is like, yeah, that would be all well and good if I wasn't like literally the next person in line for
Right.
the weak,
It's
little
like-
weaker people.
And that's literally what Joel said. Is like, yeah, we go Chet and then Suri and then Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like literally getting rid of the weaker players. But honestly, yeah, I mean, I thought Suri just had the better arguments for her tribe, for the people that were brought over for Ozzy and Amanda. But they're like, well, no, tribe strength is really important. Joel's really important to keep around. But she's just like, yeah, but we can't manipulate him. We can't use him in any way.
And
Chet's an easy pawn. We can kind of get him to do whatever we want.
Didn't necessarily like carry us in this last challenge.
Yeah, and he didn't carry us at all. He did nothing. So
yeah.
much for strength,
Chet,
right?
we can use them. Joel, we can't.
Right.
So.
We already have Ozzy. I would have been like, Ozzy, we already have you. I mean, you can't carry us through everything, but I mean, look at you. I mean, Eric is just like, he's ready to just drop trow for you right now. He'd do anything for you. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily the best move for like Ozzy and Amanda, or if
yeah, I don't know.
it's purely a good move for Suri. But.
It's a good move for Suri. Yeah, it is hard to determine whether or not, because maybe for them playing into her is useful because they'll be able to turn on her later. It's a possibility, maybe when there's a merge or
Yeah.
when they get a feel for things later on. But no, I don't know. Interesting. It's interesting developments going on here. It's fun.
But Suri had to make it happen.
I had to make it happen, and she did. I'd say in terms of a Switch episode, this one was really great. Actually, it felt the least like, even though it is disruptive in some ways, it felt like the least disruptive we may have seen in quite a while. Like it didn't feel like totally random, where it's like, take one member, and then also you have to send someone to exile, and then you're taking 3 days to do what, there's not like Ellie's random twist with this one. It was just very simple, like drop your buffs.
It wasn't the classic random swap, but it was the schoolyard pick.
The schoolyard pick, yeah.
Random.
I think giving the players some agency, even though they are forced to like have to pick people from the other tribe. I think that's a better way to do swaps, because you get the vibe from the other people, but you don't necessarily know how that's going to shake out when all is said and done. You can't like plan out how that's going to go.
So in James's time in Survivor, he's never not been picked first in anything.
Yeah, how could you not pick that man for anything first?
Yeah. It's funny because, like, yeah, if it's a physical challenge, obviously you want James. But these other ones, he's just kind of, he's really just kind of there.
He's just,
the other ones, but
he just exists. He's just there.
He's just such a force that you can't deny.
It is funny though that we pick. You got to pick Joel first. I do like how Ozzy put it in there. Yeah, I thought the way he phrased it too is sort of like, yeah, I was thinking at that time that we would want tribe strength is the most important thing, and then immediately follows up and votes his ass out.
My headspace. I had one conversation, and then suddenly my headspace
was just changed all of a sudden. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe we should get rid of him. So, yeah, a brutal continuation of the
injuries,
the most physical. I think they touted another season where it's like it's as physical as it's ever been on one of the other ones, but this one is like more even than that. Like everyone's getting hurt like all the time.
Joel was just dragging Chet along.
Dragging Chet's like getting his head beaten up. We saw Parvati with a huge fat lip. Jonathan get a massive puncture. We got some nice surgical shots to end this episode where I had to clean his wound out and giving him stitches and stuff. It was like, man, that's
my ass
tough. Yeah.
Amy got something in her leg or knee too.
Yeah, Amy got like this, like sprain or something, hurt her knee. So it's like,
that's a bloodbath.
It is a bloodbath. It's a bloodbath going on out there on Survivor. It's crazy. I can't believe they're getting away with it. You know,
keep getting away with
can't
it.
keep getting away with this. But
anything else from this episode?
they forewent tribal council. Oh, so it was fun seeing that Malakal had the favorites beach, so they didn't win reward or immunity, ended up being, but they do have the favorites beach, so it was like, okay, it's not that big of a deal anyways. Meanwhile, Irai got the reward, but then they had like their fires getting put out by the tides. Apparently nobody explained to them that phases of the moon also have an effect on tides, so the tide's not going to stay the same. Also, the tide is going to change based on time of year too.
Yeah.
So maybe don't put it right next to the water. It's maybe not a good idea.
Took the fire.
It took the fire right out. So they helped them build a new shelter, and it was kind of great because they were like, man, the favorites are just showing up, and they just, like in an hour, they just built like a whole new shelter, pretty much. So that was kind of fun seeing them sort of come alive there. Back to life. Chet talking to some chickens.
Yeah.
Ozzy mysteriously makes an unusual. I thought it was kind of an odd decision where he was very much like, I'm not going to show anybody my idol. I'm going to keep that hidden. But I'm going to tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well,
they haven't seen it. They don't know if it necessarily exists. You know, you just be telling them.
okay, but then why do you okay. I thought then would be the play would be like, I didn't find it, but I'm telling them that I have it. Could
Like
be
I
another
said,
play.
I trust James.
I
And
trust
then
James.
A second later, all three of them knew.
Yeah.
I told all three of them.
It's like, what? Okay, I mean, like, it's fine, I guess, but like, it very much felt like a setup of like, I'm not going to tell anybody, not even my people I'm the closest with,
Yeah.
because like, they don't need to see it, they don't need to know yet.
So
I'll play this
so
later.
I went and I told Joel and Chet.
And so I told everyone that I had. I was like, what are you doing? What are we doing here?
Just a little foursome.
This little foursome, this little polycule. We have. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. But I think that's about all we got. I think for this
There's
episode.
some pretty poor play from Joel here. I mean,
Very poor play. It's just.
I mean, you can't just treating Chet like shit. They only get you so far. I mean, just,
Right, because you have to understand that, like, who's the person that convinced you to keep him along? Like, you're not gonna play with them at all anymore.
right. Well,
Isn't Tracy still on his team?
Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy's still there.
Tracy is still on the team, and and it was his idea the first time to not take out Chet. I mean, he was on board both times, not taking out Chet for strategic reasons.
Right, but now it's like,
and then now he's surprised that someone would possibly want to get him out instead of just voting Chet out.
right. It's just like didn't seem to be thinking there. So I don't know.
And he just didn't handle it well. You know, he just
No.
went in, just kind of like relying on the fact that I'm a big guy and they're gonna
Right, they'll
kind of have to keep me just
they'll respect that, and kind of didn't do a whole lot.
didn't care to, like, you know, maintain those relationships with his tribe. Just had a little powwow with Ozzy and Eric, like, all right, let's get the weak people out, and that was about it.
Also, there was Amanda grabs a shark.
Yeah,
There was that moment too, and Ozzy was sort of
fucking that's Ozzy's
like his
love language.
Yeah, he was
Ozzy's love language is ocean, water.
Yeah, he was getting all hot and bothered about it. He's like, it's pretty sexy.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. It's like, I mean, like, yeah, I get it to a degree, but it was also very funny because it was like, yeah, it's a very Ozzy moment.
I
for
wrestled
sure.
this Shrek myself.
Yeah,
This Shrek.
the Shrek. I got this shark
Pull the
myself.
Shrek on the net. Look what I found.
This ogre.
Fuck.
What?
Fucking hot as hell. I've never even seen that in the water.
That's hot.
All right.
So,
Who would you give your MVP for the episode?
Oh man, that's a great question. I think I'm giving it to Suri. I mean, she's just navigated this switch a lot. She's been playing a great game of Survivor so far. She's definitely been playing the best game of Survivor so far. I think everyone's doing a pretty good job in terms of the old favorites. You know, Jonathan's been having his little moments, I guess, too. But on his new tribe, we haven't seen much from him. He got hurt, I guess, but there was that great moment I think I talked about it during the challenge where Eliza was sort of like trying to figure out where the stuff was, but then he just was like calm down, just think about the bigger picture here. And so it was like that was a really nice move. But Suri playing an amazing game of Survivor so far. She's just making moves. She's reading people really well, understanding her position, understanding the new dynamics of the position that she's in, making moves to keep herself around and put her in a better position in the game.
She's always been really good at
really good at that.
Like she'll identify that. Last season was like Courtney's the person taking up a spot in the final. Just kind of thinking that no one else was doing. They're like, well, let's just take Courtney at the end. But she's like, no, Courtney's kind of occupying my spot.
Right.
And here it's like, yeah, I could take Chet out and that'll be fine for me today. But tomorrow, then I'm that person. So.
Right. And so less bargaining, less power for me at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, and if you still have Chet there, you're never going to vote Suri out over Chet because of tribe strength. So.
Right, and also from that, like with that whole thing too, is that you can then convince Amanda and Ozzy to also continue with you there because you're like, well, we can all keep. It's really I can keep him around, but the way to phrase it is like we can keep him around because we can sort of use him as a pawn.
Right.
So.
All right.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's it. Come back next week for another episode of Survivor. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you go check out our review of Survivor Panama. All right? Panama. Shout out.
All right.
That's season 1 time. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed, like the video, leave a comment. If you do, we'll be sure to read it in the next episode of the Tarqaron podcast. Check out the social media, hit the notification bell. Take care of yourself. All right.